This series is for educational and entertainment purposes. Stories reflect Randy's personal memory and recollection. Some details may be disputed. Do your own homework.
um, Meeting Eddie Trunk after Rock La Jolla and stuff, was like Rob Hubbard stomped the trunk on there, pulled out a Pride of Texas disc, come back down. So he came back. So I met Jason at Rock La Jolla and ended up, him as a drummer, did my interviews, and I went and just kept in contact with him, man. One of my best friends across the country industry, and stayed in contact. Take the Jerry Springer show. He came and picked me up, went and stayed with him, jammed with his band, which is Emperors and Elephants, and just stayed. And just stay in touch, man, until when there was separation from Texas Hippie. Little did I know that I'd already jammed with the band I was going to go to, man. So went in that, and so we're writing the record and pulling tracks off, and I had about 5 tracks, about half the album, and was headed back down Texas way, Oklahoma City. Went up there to see Brad White and them, and he was doing a book signing for Eddie Trunk was doing a book signing and had him there at a venue and stuff. So went up to that, watched that, and I rode down to Ardmore with them. And then Brad said, "Bring your disc. That would be a good time. That I'll put it on and in the car, and then as we're talking, and shit like that, man." So he's letting I'm just in the back seat, man, just taking the ride, and these Emperor tracks are playing, and the third track, man, was "Man of God." Deny me, I will become more than no man of God, living in this facade, and you will fall under the weight of it all, and I will stand tall and bring me down now, and bring me down now, take off my Man of God. Eddie Trunk turns around to me and goes, "Now that was interesting." Brad White's over there pinching me in the leg, like, that's like, give me the thumbs up, like, man, I mean, it's a good thing, So we go back to Oklahoma City, man, and there's a Jack was playing. So Eddie Trunk's there hosting that and doing his book signing. And I got to share this story because if you could have been there, it was great and funny. So there's this girl there.
Are you crying?
No, man.
Take a drink. Your
No, I'm
throat's
not
dry or
crying. I
something.
mean,
You're like,
I was crying, like.
Like, is he getting choked up?
No.
He's
No,
getting
no.
choked up,
All right,
y'all.
so Eddie Trunk is there, and he's doing his book signing. Brad, I'm there with there's a girl there, man, and she's like, "Look, I've got a Randy wig on." I'm like, and I was over there like, wow, I was over there straightening her hair up, like, man, I could give you some hair tips for that, but it was a little crooked, man. And I straightened it up, and it's like, wow. I mean, it looked like a real hair. I really didn't know, but the whole thing moved like a helmet. I straightened it up. So Eddie Trunk's standing right there. He's taking a drink of beer, and she goes, "Hi." I said, "Well, what's your name?" And she said, Oh, this is Eddie Trunk, you know, and it got an introduction, and he goes, hi, I'm Eddie, and she goes, hi, I'm Heidi, and he goes, oh, Heidi. She goes, yeah, like, Heidi, you're cocking my throat. And he spit beer out his nose right there, man. And that's how we do it in Oklahoma City, you know. That's my Eddie Trunk story right there. Okay, so the last run of you know, like one of the last runs of the hippies, man, we got on the Judas Priest, Black Label Thin Lizzy thing, and we did all the, you know, Priest play about 4 or 5 nights a week. Black Label is doing 8 days a week, working my finger to the bone. Anyway, man, that was the first time to get around Zach Wall, my favorite dude out there, man, and talk about in school, taking notes, classroom every day, man, just to watch a dude like that, that is the real deal, real shit. The 2-a-day workout relentlessly every day, man, it really showed me that, I got a long ways to go, you know. But it was really interesting, learned so much on those runs. But at the end of the run with them, Nick Catneys ended up being one of my best friends in the industry, man. Just hanging around him, being in Pittsburgh, him being plucked out of Pittsburgh, and the people I knew from Pittsburgh was real tight with him and close and knew all that, man. And so his girlfriend's a promoter, met her in New Orleans and got back to Pittsburgh, and man, went to many shows, man. Just it was killer. All right, so Nick steps down. He told me a little bit beforehand. He said, "Hey man, I'm fixing to shoot this email. I've already got it typed, but I haven't sent it. But when I do, man, and I do step, man, I hope that, man, you'll give it a shot, or you know, fill my, you know, if anybody fill my shoes, man, I hope it's you, man." And you know, it's killer. You know, I never even dreamed of shit like that, but man, at the end of that run, man, all of a sudden, you know, it's like no word, didn't know anything about it, just had that under there. Well, my girlfriend in Pittsburgh calls me and says, "Hey man, you got your email, and you read your emails?" And I said, "No, I have not." She goes, "Well, you better go check it out." And it was from Blasco. I think Ozzy's bass player, Rob Zombie's bass player, but he worked for the Sony management team, which had Ozzy and Black Label. And my email was, "Hey man, we got our eye on 9 guys. You're one of them. We know you got shit going on. Want you to give it a shot, man." Nick Catney stepped down and want you to pull up 3 songs, 2 rocking, one acoustic, and film it. Let us have it. And did a few rounds, got another call back. "Hey man, can you do it again?" Picked a few more, did it again, boom, you know, and just kept on. But made it all the way through the 9, you know, and get up there. And right there, you know, and debut at the NAMM that year, Black Label, Jakey Lee, and thinking, man, if I've got this gig, which I did the audition, and I was thinking, I just took this motherfucker. Felt good, you know, and all that shit. But when never got the call or nothing that didn't get it, but you know, dang sure they're booked. They're like Black Label, NAMM Jam, you know, and obviously, man, if it's like 2 weeks before NAMM, I'd be rehearsing with them and did not get that call. But had to go and watch. Me and Justin Manning stood front row and watched our gig. You know, kind of, you know. But Kenny Younger, drummer from Messer, Dallas, he seen me over there like, dude, and this is what picked me up. That dude picked me up right there, and he said, he just had what, he goes, "Man, dude, that is one of the greatest honors or anything to be able to, Zach Wild called you to audition for fucking Black Label, dude. That is a badge of motherfucking honor you take to the grave with you. You wear that loud motherfucking proud." And it changed the way I felt about the whole show or losing that gig or anything like that, man. And it just, never thought about it. Like, that's what I was actually there. You know, I mean, been life changing, been great. Love the dude. Dude, love lost nothing. I love him even more, man. And I just keep striving to be that, man. Being around that dude and watching his 2-a-day workout routine daily, every day, lit a fire under me. And I better get my fingers on them strings, you know, and just keep shedding, wood shedding. So that there you go, man. You're fixing to have Arson County, all brand new music coming out right here, man. And that's where, you know, where I've been the last couple of years, right? So, all right. So,
Hey,
I
you
know, I
should be
just-
like, I'm pretty sure I know when I lost that audition was when I stepped up during the solo and my hair was blowing in Zach's face. Because you do that fucking like thing so good, like you're spitting hair out.
My name is Blood. You know, Ash, you know, he told me, I'm gonna put this on record because first time I heard that song, he goes, "Hey man, did you audition with this with Zach, or did he hear you play this riff? Because it sounded like the one you left on my console." You know, I said, "God damn," I don't know about that. But anyway, man, enough of that. All right, so back to the point, man.
Where you at?
You want to go with that? But I
That should
did,
be enough.
you know.
Yep. Let's go to question 3.
Okay, all right, so, you know, when you, okay, so, how did THC form? All right, man, you know, in the need of weed, okay? And I had the ride. Cowboy had partial money. John Oliver pawned something, and he had the other part, you know. Pawned his bass or his amp, just like always. And he had the other part, but I had the ride. And man, we went all of our drug dealers, and nobody had any weed, man. That sucks, because we had to call that the big dude, you know, out there on Cherry Mound, yeah. And he's like, "You know, I got weed, you know, but it's gonna cost y'all extra $5, man, you know." And whoever, you know, I thought a quarter bag's $25, man. Well, I mean, what is? I should have known right there. I should have known. But anyway, we got there, and on the way there, you know, mine and Cowboy's hairs over here, you know, we're getting flat-headed by riding in the truck and having to bend down a little bit because, you know, our hair was taller than it was longer. And so, you know, you don't want to go walking around and be cool with a flat head on one side. So, and then we pull up, and then, you know, the door opens. He's like, "Who pulled up my yard?" You know, it's not even his yard, you know, it wasn't even mowed. There was a lot of trash in it. And so, when he pulled, I said, "We should name the band Hippie because we're the only 3 that never cut their hair." And then we pull up. Here's this other dude.
Of which we do not speak.
Yeah, no, man. But he opens up the door, and as a last resort, I mean, no. I mean, I'd rather not smoke weed. I'd rather take up smoking cigarettes than smoke that dude's weed. But anyway, we went out there, and he opens up the door. He's like, "Look at that buttload of hippies, truckload of hippies," something like that. So we go in and laugh about it. We smoke weed, and we watch pay-per-view wrestling, and we talked about, man, we should jam sometime, you know. And I was like, we talked about naming the band Hippie. I always wanted to name, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, THC. We ought to just name the band. Fucking, we're out here to get some weed, you know. And so we just said with THC, you know, with that. And they was like, we're from Texas. We are the hippies. We're the only motherfuckers that hadn't cut their hair. And everything on the news and everything about the world was coalition, man. We're over there in the Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, you know, and shit like that. So everything was about coalition. So there you have it, man. THC. We named the band. We talked about T-shirts. The T-shirt that we talked about that day was the #1 seller for the longest time until we put my picture on the fucking shirt. You know, #1. Anyway, and there you have it, man. We went and cheated on our other bands. They found out about it. Everybody quit and got pissed off, and so they're all pissed off and mad about it. But we were kind of happy and glad about it because, you know, some of them people we didn't like. You know, we jammed with, but they all got mad at us. And it's like a marriage, man. A band is. And when you find out you cheated on somebody, man, everybody quits, breaks up, divorce, separation, all that shit. And So we just kept on. First day we jammed together, we did a secret jam. We wrote 3 songs that day. Texas Beg was the very first one, Texas Tags and Crawling, and we wanted to do it again. Well, actually, we wrote Texas Tag and Beg because bass player pawned his shit and didn't have no equipment to play on there, so we did it without him that first time. The second time we come back in and we fine-tuned them songs, and he brought Crawling to the table. And that was basically the only song he brought to the table ever. For real, I mean, you know, that's a true story.
Okay.
All right. I know. Anyway, so Cowboy, I'm a THC drummer, Eric Dickens, one of my best friends, singer, Chris Harridge. We all are going up to Samurai Sake House and to go out in Oklahoma City, man. So we head out, and well, let me start this, man, in my parents' driveway, because they're there to pick me up. Scott Lauder just wrecked his car. My buddy Sean Fools just painted skull and crossbones on it. He rolled it. Windshield broke. Big old gaping hole right in front of the passenger seat, right in the corner, but I had a tape. Sean painted skulls and crossbones on it and pushed it. You know, Scott rolled the car 2 or 3 nights before, leaving an electric company on, coming in Durant, rolls it, get somebody to help him push it back upright, and still got gas in it, rolled it on, you know. So my mom, starting at the house, man, we're backing out. I'm going, go, man, go, go. And she's following me down the driveway. She flipped me off like this. See that? You know, and said, the wages of sin's death. Scott Lytle's going to get you killed. Follows me down the driveway. Wages of sin is death. And then stood out in the street. And I'm going, go, man, go. Wages of sin is death. And roll out of there, man. And, you know, we go to the Samurai Sake House. We get retardo. And nobody can drive. We took turns driving. Chewy from the Samurai Sake House, still there, still up and running, man. Teaches all the cops martial arts, all that. Where's the little genie gee? You know, like, And man, he didn't even have to say a word. When we was out there arguing over who's going to drive and fighting over the keys, he said, and then pointed towards the car and the street. And Cowboy could read language, because he just said, get the fuck out of my parking lot. And we all got in the car, and we drove off, and we wrecked it. And I broke my neck, doing about 120 and smoking man at 6.6, Trans Am yellow. Went off a cliff, broke my neck. Knew I broke my neck. Had to tell these guys, do not move me, or I will never play guitar again, man. And highway patrolman seen us go off, man. The ambulance was there pretty quick, and there I go off to the hospital, man. And the only thing it happened just so quick, man, and all that. But they were right there. People were right there on top of us. And I was trying to get air, man. So I was trying to get that dude's head off the steering wheel, man. All I could do, I knew I'd broke my neck because you could taste the electrical. And could not get his head off that horn, man. But got to the hospital, got all that, you know, broken neck, man. Went through 18 months wheelchair, halo, surgeries, man, and just, you know, life-changing. Quadriplegic. Same time Superman, Christopher Reeves broke his neck the same weekend I broke mine. And 5 other people broke their necks that night that came into Oklahoma Memorial Hospital. 2 died. 1 was paraplegic. 1 was quadriplegic, and 1 lived and walked away, and that was me. You know, and it took a long time. It took a long time. I could stand up 18 months later and could not take a step. Right arm, I got my 5 and 7 vertebrae was perfectly in line. 6 was popped all the way out. That's what controlled my left arm and fingers. And that left arm and fingers, if I needed something on the left side of my body, I reached over my right arm and tried to get it. And the hardest thing I can remember ever having to do was reach my hand over a coffee can lid and try to pick up a clothespin, pinch that sucker, and put it on the side of that Folgers can. And the only thing harder than that was the first time I ever got to go to Sunset Beach, and my friends came over to get me up, Save People, Scott Lytle, Todd Gaines, Scotty Ray, and they came over to convince my dad to loosen the reins and let me go to the beach, and everybody wanted to see me. I have not seen sun in 2 years. Still can't feel the bottom of my feet. Still got no feeling in my fingers. And I go out to the beach and I get sun, and I get sunburned. But, you know, my friends did, handed me a cold Budweiser, and all I heard, all I could do is like, I couldn't even open that thing. And they said, when you get thirsty enough and you want that beer bad enough, you'll crack it. So, not that summer, but I had some crackers. You know, they would crack some beers for me. But, so that was a great day. There were so many events that happened that day. I got to go see a bunch of my friends for the first time. My parents let the reins loose on me. You know, walked across the hot sand so much that I didn't even feel my feet. So I kept. And I still got no feeling on the bottom of my feet or my fingers, except for this one. Talk about that later. All right, so thank God he saved me that one thing I can fill a woman with. That's all I got to say about that. You know, but there's that finger again. Your body adapts, and man, things happen. You know, I don't know, but I don't know how I still play guitar. I know that I got the note by, I can hear. You know, so I don't know, man, your body adapts things. So that day, Todd Gaines, you know, that convinced my dad, oh, we'll bring you back safe. Yeah, right. They never brought me back. You know, because we met some girls, and we went to this hotel room. And I'm going to tell you about that in just a second, because it's probably going to get edited. But it's a good story, man. Really good. It's going to make my book.
Right. So, right after he carded the girls to make sure they were old enough.
They were. I'm young.
I could smell.
Yeah. Okay, so Todd Gaines is like, he got this badass fucking VW. And he's like, check out my motor. Chrome motor, man. Badass. He's like, take a ride with him. So we take a ride down to Wolf Woods. We ain't gone 10 minutes. One lap, I'm in a halo. Pins in my head, 6 pins all the way around there. I mean, every time I get out or get in someplace or walk by something, I can barely walk anyway, but you got to try getting rolled around in a wheelchair with your buddy pushing you when you go hang a fucking door frame. You know? All right, so we go there. We come back to a roadblock, one way in, no way out. They done got a chain link jail cage there with wreckers hauling off people's cars, and people pulled over and people lined up getting, all right, everybody out of the car. Well, when they come to us, everybody out of the car. Well, you know, it's going to take me a minute. And they're like, whoa, what is up with you? And I just broke my neck. I just got out of the hospital, man. I was in a bad car wreck. I can't walk. I'm paraplegic. And they're like, get back in the car. You, get behind the wheel. Head back down to that beach. You know, and send us home. You know what Todd did? He turned to me and said, boy, when I'm out drinking, everywhere I go, you're going with me. You know? So we go back down there and we get out of the roadblock. But we meet these girls, man. And I'm not going to mention no names. Joe lives in Denver. And I just talked to her. That's one of them. And yeah. Anyway, when you're in there and you got the same hair, and you're in there in the dark, you know, and you got one room with it has that metal key that you got to turn, you know, and you know, yeah, we're all in the same room. Man, I got this body brace on that I can't even do this, you know. But we made up in the bathroom, you know, and like, hey man, God, your girl's hot. I'm like, boy, hot too, you know. So like, hey, you know, like, hey man, give me your neck brace. Huh? You're right. Stripped that motherfucker off, boy. We switched out. Till we got caught about 5 minutes later. That's all I got to say about that. But I'm still friends with one of them.
Is that relevant to the story?
No.
I've been up, I've been down, just trying to keep my feet on solid ground. I've been left, I've been right. survive at night. I've been black.
How old was Randy when he broke his neck? Drop your guess in the comments. Answer is in the pinned comment. Guitar players, would you keep playing after an injury like that, or would you have walked away? Tag a friend who needs to hear this. Nick Katniss was Zakk Wylde's evil twin in Black Label Society. Years later, that exact phrase is what led Jose to Arson County. Which story do you believe the least? What's the one finger you'd fight to keep feeling in? Be honest, this one hits different.